Chalice won't be seen tonight, so he can bring you a very special episode of The Gen X Files. Welcome to The Gen X Files. I'm Jim.
I'm Adam.
And today's show is all about
The Road Warrior.
Mad Max 2.
A.K.A. Mad Max 2.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
Because we don't understand sequels.
Man, God, I love this movie so much.
Oh my God, it's so good.
I remember as a kid, as a little theater bouncer,
Yeah.
I would go to the Sixplex and buy one ticket and bounce around to each,
Oh, is that what that means? I thought you, kicked people out. You were the theater bouncer?
Yes.
6 years old, you were...
Well, perhaps people...
You gotta stop doing that! And then kick them out.
Perhaps there's some first-time listeners to the show. Don't quite know what I'm talking about. But thank you for just...
I like the idea of you being six, the huge muscles, and just you get out of here.
You get out of here. Or I'm going to get you.
I need to sit down and watch The Road Warrior.
Get your hands out of my popcorn and M&M's.
But as a person who illegally...
Right. You saw this without paying.
Well, I did. I remember seeing the ads for it and being like, oh, it's weird, because it was very desolate.
Yeah.
And the ads were kind of... Trailers back then weren't super... They didn't grab you by the nuts like they do today.
Yeah.
It was just more like... even Star Wars is like, Star Wars, a land beyond time.
Yeah.
Place where,
There wasn't a lot of drive to any of them. No urgency at all.
The Road Warrior.
That's
Mad Max, a man on his own.
That's what eventually led to the In a World
Yes.
Where There's No Gas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, the ads didn't, really convey what it was, because it's hard to do.
Yeah, I mean, how do you explain this world in 2.5 minutes?
I didn't know much of Mel Gibson. I wasn't like a huge Gallipoli fan.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't, nobody really knew him at this point in America.
But baby, seeing that movie changed it for me. My lifelong love of apocalyptic art, films,
Yeah.
books,
Yeah.
movies, TV, started there. I mean, the movie, but like we were talking about yesterday, certain movies just define a genre.
Yeah.
Like, Blade Runner defined cyberpunk or, that kind of aesthetic. George Miller created the wasteland. He created.
Yeah, the whole, anything you see, anybody doing anything with patched together cars and patched together costumes in sand is because of George Miller.
Yeah.
But even more so than that, he defined the anti-hero.
Yes.
Mad Max in this movie is the first, I'm not going to say anything unless I absolutely have to,
right,
but I'm going to get the job done and then I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
It is he created a whole prototype. It's amazing.
The backstory of Max is heartbreaking. Because I saw the original after I saw Road Warrior.
Yeah.
And most people in the United States.
Most people in the U.S., yeah.
And it's a tragic story.
Oh, it's horrible.
What happens to his family. And it's, that the original Mad Max is more of kind of an end of the world situation.
Yeah.
It's dystopian rather than apocalyptic.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. More dystopian than apocalyptic.
It's the beginning of the end, and this is after all of the shit hits the fan.
Really bad stuff happens.
Yes. And, there's nothing left but survival. And there's something really... It's crazy how we romanticize the end of the world so much. And I think a lot of it is just people want the simplicity.
Yeah, they want to get back to I want to wake up, find food, and then go to sleep.
Yes, there's no job, there's no, battling with Cheryl for the promotion, not dealing with people nuking fish in the break room. It's basically you survive or you don't survive, and there's a romantic simplicity to that. And everybody kind of ignores the elephants in the room, which are, disease.
Yeah,
and hygiene.
The fact that if you got to that end, you made it because you were lucky. Most of you died.
They're such close talkers for having such rank teeth. And breath. It just stinks.
Oh yeah, not good. I mean, Bruce Spence's teeth in this movie are a horror show.
He loves showing them off. He sure did. But yeah, he gets real close. He's just like, "Oh, did you eat a shit sandwich?"
Yeah.
Actually, I did.
That's actually what I had yesterday for lunch.
That's what I ate for lunch. But I was hooked from the first voiceover when I was a kid until the very end. And this movie goes, man.
Oh, that is one thing George Miller is really good at, and he showed that also in like Fury Road.
Oh, yeah.
But like once the movie starts, it is nonstop.
Yeah, he is one of the greatest action directors. One of the, if not the greatest vehicular action director
yeah.
there is. The stuff that he was doing in this movie, which is all practical. There's no,
Yeah.
there's no computer effects or anything back then. This is all real dudes doing real.
Well, that was even when we got to the end and they blew up the fuel field. Like Jim was like, "Is that a miniature?" And it was like, "No, they literally blew up the entire set."
Such an incredible explosion to all those tires flying.
Huge explosion.
You know, when the VFX guys saw all those tires flying out, they're like,
Yay! We did it! Success! We did it! Thank God for our criminal backgrounds.
We really know how to blow shit up.
Hey, we can do it.
Yeah. I apologize to all of our Australian listeners right now.
I reckon it was a good explosion.
Yeah.
but I still to this day love this movie, and so well directed, so simple yet so complex for a movie that has very little dialogue. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need, without any backstory or bullshit, these two factions are fighting each other. You know they want the gas. One is a completely, it's anarchy and, ruled by strength and craziness.
A weird dude with a pulsating head.
Yeah.
That was so weird.
I can't believe Jason moved to Australia.
Yeah. This is what happened when he grew up. He moved to Australia.
Yeah, after Camp Crystal Lake, I really got into bodybuilding, and I went to Australia, and then the apocalypse hit.
He did spend a lot of time down at the bottom of that lake. He just needed to get away from water.
Yeah, I just need some desert. I need some me time.
Gotta balance some stuff out.
Yeah. Yes. We're going to follow you. Yeah. But they're all such crazy, awesome characters. Like the guy, the voice that loses his fingers.
Yeah. The toady. Yeah.
The toady, yeah. And
He's so weird.
Bare Butt Jones from all the movie,
Oh, yeah. Old barometer buns.
Yes,
Yeah.
barometer buns. And then, you have the other side, which they're not that good either. There's no good or evil in this.
I love that they tried to make them look better by having them all in white. It's like, oh, they must be the good guys.
Right.
But it's like, yeah. I mean, they're kind of... I look at them as the good guys.
Well, they're more civilized.
Yeah.
But they had no qualms about selling out Max.
That's true. That is
They had
true.
No
Yeah.
qualms about murdering. They're just cleaner.
Yeah.
And
They took a bath more recently.
Yeah, and they don't have their butt cheeks hanging out, so that's about the difference. Look, they're trying, and that's the one thing too that I like is nobody can be. You can't have a 100% perfect moral compass in this world. You have to compromise.
God, no. You gotta strip away most of your morality, because if you do have morals and you do spare people, you're probably gonna get screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
Except if it's somebody who flies the gyrocopter. You always got to spare that guy. But yeah, man, I came out of that theater just buzzing because it was just such an unexpected. There's a few films like that, Raiders of the Lost Ark, that were just these unexpected juggernauts within my influence of, that changed my love of movies and really defined the kind of action movies that I really love. And this was just so cool, man. Once they get into that truck and that whole third act chase goes on.
Yeah.
That thing is riveting, man.
Yeah.
Riveting.
Yeah. It's really interesting. Something I realized this watch through that I think I had inklings of, but as a writer, the introduction of the two factions and Max seeing them, and the fact that all of this action was happening, that could have been huge, like action sequences of them trying to invade the oil field, and it's just Max watching and just waiting, and like it is such a brilliant device to tell a story and introduce characters and factions and setting tone without actually saying anything. It's so brilliant.
Well, Max is definitely our surrogate, and I don't think there's really that many scenes that is not his point of view.
No. I'm pretty sure it's all from him. Maybe a little bit with the kid.
A little bit. You can't do everything. But for the most part, we're stumbling upon it when he does. We're seeing
Yeah.
it the way he does. We're introduced to them when he is.
Yeah.
We're not privy to any information that he's not.
Right.
So I love those types of movies that keep you so that's what kind of bonds you with the protagonist, is because we're both going through this journey together and
Right.
we're learning the same things at the same time.
Right. Yeah, it's such a brilliant movie. It's great. I really love the first movie. I'd actually seen it more recently than Road Warrior. Because I realized I hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
Sometime during the pandemic, I was like, okay, I'm going to start watching these again. And then, of course, I just watched the first one and didn't watch any more after that. But the encapsulation of the first movie is so brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
And it could, it could have been that they just shot it for this movie. Like, it could have been the backstory that, you don't even realize it's a full movie.
Yeah.
Because it does such a good job of setting up his character.
Yeah.
And who he is, and the fact that they use the shot from the very end of the movie for the very beginning, like the end of the montage, is him standing on the road watching them leave.
Yeah.
Is so brilliant. It's just such a goddamn brilliant movie.
It really is. It is. And I've grown to appreciate Mad Max a lot more as I've gotten older. I think this month I might try to watch both Mad Max and Thunderdome.
Yeah, it's weird because being the age that I am, being a younger Gen X, like Thunderdome was the one that was on TV all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And it definitely seemed more like oriented towards kids. Not kids, but
no,
you know what
it
I mean?
did.
Like,
It was oriented more towards
it
kids.
wasn't definitely as violent as this one.
It was goofier. It didn't
Yeah.
take itself as serious. It was very Hollywoodized.
Yes.
Hollywood
Yes.
got their claws into poor George Miller.
Yeah.
And they also didn't ruin the movie, but they made
Yeah.
a very subpar sequel. There was a lot of things. The whoosh whoosh in the wing wang.
Yeah.
Bloody
The kids in the
bleedy
plane.
bleeds.
Yeah.
You know,
it
that
was
kind of-
it was a little much. It was a little much.
Master Blaster.
But we'll definitely talk about that near the end of the episode. But yeah, and then of course Fury Road and I loved that movie. I mean, it was just such a fun ride.
Definitely. Really well directed. Tom Hardy's a little hit or miss for me. And because of how much I love The Road Warrior, it's hard for me
Yeah.
to see. It's like, it's like seeing a different Han Solo or seeing a different Indiana Jones or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
James Bond, we're geared towards new James Bond.
Sure,
That's just how it goes. We've been used to that our
Yeah,
entire life.
yeah.
But when somebody is such an iconic character and does such a good job of encapsulating and making this character their own,
Yeah.
and look, hats off to Tom Hardy because he
yeah.
made it his own, and
Yeah.
he was much more feral and less intelligent, and I give him props for the way that he played it, but I just didn't find his character as interesting as Mel Gibson's character. But that being said, again, what an incredible action movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fury
yeah,
Road is,
Yeah.
and it just starts and does not stop, and it's basically the same plot.
It literally is the same plot. I
Yeah.
mean, it's a little different characters and the stories, but it's still Truck. They're still
Yes,
trying to
it's
get
girls.
away. Yeah. I mean, it's like and I didn't realize that till we were watching it, and I was like, wow, he literally just kind of recycled the whole thing, and
Well,
which is fine.
I think the interesting thing about Fury Road is that it's more of a socialization of Mad Max
Yeah.
movie, getting him to be around people and trust
Right,
people
right.
again, I guess.
Yeah.
Because it's he and the ladies, and he
Yeah.
and Charlize
But
Theron.
he's still. I mean, I guess in Road Warrior, Max isn't like he does the stuff because he has to.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't seem. Although he does treat the kid really well. I mean, he still has a heart.
He's a good man.
It's just so shut off because
yeah.
of what happened to him.
And what continues to happen,
Yeah.
and in the world that they live in, it is a brutal, unforgiving, hateful, cruel world.
Yeah.
And you can't. The way he treats. I love the evolution of the friendship between he and the gyroscope guy.
Yeah.
Because it
We're
starts.
partners.
Yeah, we're partners.
You and me.
Because it starts out so antagonistic,
Yeah.
but in a playful way. Like, Max is kind of messing with him. Once he realizes
Yeah,
he's not
yeah.
a threat,
Yeah.
and he's more of a pet,
Right.
and then it goes from pet to friend to respect.
Yeah, because he does. I mean, he saves his life. The gyrocopter saves his life.
A couple of times.
Yeah.
And he saves the people. And he becomes their leader. So
And he wanted to leave.
Yeah.
Like, he was totally like, we should just go.
Let's just ski.
And of course, then Max is like, well, I'm going to leave, but I'm leaving alone.
Well, he also tried to leave with the girl.
Yeah, and she didn't want to go. And he, it was a great arc for Bruce Spence in this movie and for that character, because he's such a weirdo. He's
Such a weirdo, but so intriguing and such a good actor. My one complaint about this movie is you don't kill the dog.
I know.
Don't kill. At least they did it off screen and we never had to see the body.
Yes, that I will give Miller credit for that. But like, I was talking to Phoebe about this before, and I totally forgot about the dog. And I knew he was in the movie, but I was like, no, he makes it. Yeah, I don't think I can, because I told her, I was like, this movie's literally why like Wasteland Weekend happens.
Yeah.
Like, this is the genesis of all of that stuff. And she's like, oh, I've never seen it. I want to see it. And after watching it again, I'm like, we're not watching this. I'm sorry.
But it's also one of the coolest dogs.
Oh my god, that dog is so awesome.
He is so cool. So cool looking, so cool acting.
Yeah.
And I love when productions go to a local shelter to get their little actor dog, and then it turns out to be awesome, and then somebody on the crew falls in love and is like, I'm taking you home, buddy.
Oh, he was so cute. He was so cute.
The dog's probably been dead for about 30 years.
Well, yes. Maybe 25.
Yes.
Probably longer.
But yeah, that was the part that bummed me out. You didn't have... But that's the thing. It had to happen. Because Max has to lose everything. He has to lose everything.
Had to be stripped away for him to realize his, the true nature.
Or to give him cause to help them.
Yeah, because he was like, at the end, I think he full on thought he was just going to die.
Yeah.
He was like, whatever, I'll drive the truck. Even though even he didn't realize it was a ruse and a switcheroo double do.
Yeah.
He didn't even realize that. But he was fully just like, whatever, man. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't.
Well, what's so messed up is I think if they would have told him, he would have been cool with it.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he would have.
You want me to be the decoy?
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, he did. At that point, I don't think he cared.
And F those people for letting the kid go with them, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He was like, let's get the kid off, and then they just never did.
Oh, man. That scene where the kid he's get the shell, get it, get the shell.
Yeah.
And he goes, and it's that Jaws scene, and you know, where you know something's going to happen. And then out pops barometer bum.
Yeah.
And they're both like, rah, rah, rah. And the kid's not screaming in fear. He's screaming in rage.
Yeah,
it's like, that kid, my God, it is one of the best children's performances ever because it is so complex.
He's so good.
You think it would be easy to play.
Yeah.
But the kid is so deep and good. The looks that he gives him, the reactions when he gets the happy birthday music box.
Yeah. It's amazing the amount of range he has, given that there's zero dialogue.
Yeah. And the chemistry between he and Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I would love to see an interview with Minty and see what his experience was like working with Mel Gibson. Because
we'll talk about it a little bit.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. But man, let's get into it because I'll talk about it all day.
All right. Take yourself back to 1982.
Oh, yeah.
May 2nd, the Weather Channel airs on cable television in the United States as the first 24-hour all-weather network.
And fathers around the country collectively orgasm. We now have purpose, they scream. Purpose!
It's funny because I just recently found there's a website that literally mimics the Weather Channel from like the 80s.
Oh, nice.
But it shows your local, like the actual like temperatures and stuff, but it's full on the Weather Channel. It's really rad.
Dads love the Weather Channel.
Hey, I got old enough. I'm finally back into the Weather Channel.
Nice. That's the proof that you're over the hill, baby.
May 8th, French-Canadian racing driver Guy Villeneuve is killed during qualifying for the 1982 Belgian Grand Prix.
Oh, no, eh?
Yeah.
Ah, that's sad, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, he was good.
I don't think French Canadians sound like that.
Well, I'm just a fan.
Oui.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir?
Oui.
Très bien, eh?
Yeah.
No, not très bien. Très mal, eh?
It's just sad. It's sad whenever race car drivers die when they're racing. It's sad.
Well, it's also inevitable.
Well,
every single race car driver dies.
Not anymore.
Every single one.
It's very, very rare. Well, I mean, yes, they all die. They don't usually die behind the wheel racing the car.
Hey, baby, he died doing what he loves. Isn't that what people say?
It's very rare now for race car drivers to die.
Well, that's good.
They've had a lot of improvements, yeah. May 12th, Spanish priest Juan Marie Fernandez y Cron tries to stab Pope John Paul II with a bayonet during the latter's pilgrimage to the shrine at Fatima.
Yeah, he kept looking at his altar boy funny. And he's like, he's mine.
Stab.
Stab. Keep your hands off.
May 21st, The Road Warriors released in theaters in the U.S.
You want to get out of here? You talk to me.
You talk to me.
I'll drive your tanker.
So, just to do a little recap of Mad Max, the first movie, it was released in 1979 with a small budget of 400,000 Australian dollars, which was just over 357,000 US dollars. The movie made 5.3 million Australian dollars, about 4.7 million US dollars worldwide. But worldwide, it made over 100 million dollars. It is held the record for the most profitable movie ever made until 1999, when the Blair Witch Project took the top spot.
Cool.
Yeah.
Blair Witch Project did deserve it, though.
Yeah. That's one of those few movies I wish I hadn't seen in the theater.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been so much better watching at home.
That's what happened. I'll tell the story really quickly.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, before anybody knew what the Blair Witch was, when it was just doing the festival circuit,
Yeah.
friend of mine who worked at Donner, he had this videotape. He's like, buddy, you got to watch this tape, man. It's real. It's crazy. Could have happened to us, because we filmed in this New Hampshire woods that looked a lot like these woods. So I was like, okay. So I'm sitting alone, pretty baked, in my apartment in the dark, watching the Blair Witch. And at first I'm like, okay, this is pretty creepy. But unfortunately, being a film student,
Yeah.
I realized that the Nagra batteries, there's no way they would last that long.
No.
So I started putting two and two together.
Yeah.
And I was not fooled.
It's simple logic. Makes it pretty obvious what's going on.
But it was fun watching it at home. I can't imagine seeing it at the theater. It would have made me throw up with the camera work.
It would have. I saw it in a huge theater with like 500 people, and it was too much. Sat way in the back, big stadium scene, sat way in the back, and people got bored and they just talked through the whole thing. and I was like, and it would have worked so much better as a short film, like a 20-minute movie, 15-minute movie, because the ending is so good.
Yeah.
But just to get there was such a slog.
If they couched it as like if they made it like a 20-minute or 30-minute news special.
Yeah.
And then use the footage.
Which, the funny thing is, they like TLC something, like did a whole like hour-long thing about it. The marketing for that movie was incredible.
Yes.
That was the best thing about that movie. And they had a whole like hour-long, it's on the DVD and the Blu-ray and stuff, but an hour-long like, what happened to the three of them, you know? And it was just like, okay, that should have been the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mad Max was better.
Way
I
better.
guess is what we're trying to say.
So, of course, because the movie was so profitable, a sequel was inevitable.
Hey, gotta make another one.
Yeah. That was, yes, Australian executive producers.
Judge, can you make another one? All right, they make another one.
Despite the success of Mad Max, director George Miller wasn't thrilled with the idea of doing another Mad Max movie.
Making Mad Max was a very unhappy experience for me. I had absolutely no control over the final product.
Miller decided he wanted to make a rock and roll movie instead.
Who doesn't?
Yeah, he worked with Terry Hayes, who helped Miller with the novelization of Mad Max. Making a home base in Los Angeles, they worked on the screenplay they were calling Roxanne.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Steve Martin was like, nope, that's mine.
So was Sting.
Yeah, that's true.
Unfortunately, the project proved to be more difficult than they thought and eventually shelved the project.
No.
Studio execs kept calling Miller to try and get him to make a sequel to Mad Max.
There was strong pressure to make a sequel, and I felt we could do a better job with a second movie.
Realizing he could use their desperation for a sequel as a bargaining chip to get a bigger budget and have more control over the final product, he asked Terry Hayes to write a Mad Max 2 film with him.
Nice. It's smart to know your leverage. You got to know your worth in this business.
He's, if anything, George Miller is also a fantastic businessman. He does understand the industry very well.
And that's rare. That's the magic combination, baby.
I mean, this is the dude that also made Happy Feet.
That's
so,
true.
you know.
He's good. Elisha Wood, baby.
Yeah. Hayes was born in England but moved with his family to Australia when he was 5. He started his career as a journalist and would sometimes host radio programs. He met George Miller when he was recruited to write the novelization for Mad Max. Hayes would go on to work exclusively for Kennedy Miller, the production company co-founded by George Miller. Other productions that Hayes would write include Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985, Dead Calm in 1989, Payback in 1999, and From Hell in 2001.
I really like From Hell. Payback wasn't that great, but that was another Mel Gibson movie,
Payback
wasn't
was
it?
fine. It was a good revenge movie.
It was a remake.
It was him. It was him being insane, so it worked.
Yeah.
yeah. And Dead Calm is a great movie. I think Payback was a remake of like a French movie, if I remember correctly.
I don't know, but I know it was a remake. I know
Yeah, because it was like Helgeland or something. I think
Brian
directed it.
Helgeland.
Brian Helgeland.
Our friend of the show and buddy Darren Hackett worked for Brian Helgeland.
Oh, yeah.
Brian Helgeland for
Yeah.
years.
Who should have changed his last name?
Yes, really nice guy.
Oh, I'm sure.
I met him a few
He's
times.
a really good writer and a decent director. But I remember enjoying Payback. But it was dark and gritty, kind of in that time. It's like when Fight Club came out, and like everything was just like super dark and like.
Well, this was like Brian Helgeland's passion project, and it just didn't go the way he wanted.
Yeah.
You know, and because of the stuff that he had written for Mel Gibson, because I think he had worked on the Lethal Weapon.
Oh, that's very possible.
He did some stuff because I know he worked for Donner.
Yeah.
And so I think they were kind of giving him. He called in a lot of favors to make Payback.
Yeah.
And I think getting because Gibson back then was just like whatever you want to his friends.
Yeah.
He was always
I'm here for you. Yeah.
Which unfortunately led to a string of really awful movies that he was in. But still, I mean, the guy. Look, like we said, he's a very complicated dude.
Yeah. So Miller and Hayes also brought on Brian Hannant, an Australian writer and director, to help with the script. Hannant directed one of the stories in Three to Go in 1970, the first fiction film from Australia's Commonwealth Film Unit, which was created to produce films about Australia.
Okay.
Peter Weir also directed one of the 3 short films. It aired on television. Hannant also wrote and directed Flashpoint, released in 1972, another film from Australia Film, the company created by the Commonwealth Film Unit. This was about a mining town in northwest Australia. This one also aired on television. It actually looked like a pretty interesting movie, Flashpoint.
I may have seen it. It sounds familiar, although there is probably another movie named Flashpoint.
There's definitely another movie named Flashpoint. And I think there was also a TV show named Flashpoint, if I remember correctly. But yeah. While on the shoot for Mad Max 2, Hannant became obsessed with a rock formation near the production and co-wrote The Time Guardian, starring Tom Burleson, Nicky Coghill, Dean Stockwell, and Carrie Fisher.
Okay.
It was released in Australia in 1987, but received horrid reviews, which kept it from being released in the U.S. until 1989. It would be the last feature that Hannant directed.
Womp womp.
The Time Guardian looks like a weird, very bad B-movie. But
Well, there's plenty of those back in the 80s, baby.
it's weird. I went down a weird rabbit hole with that movie.
And poor Carrie Fisher was in a lot of them.
She was. So they they asked Mel Gibson to come back as Mad Max Rockatansky.
Rockatansky.
Gibson was born in Peekskill, New York, and at the age of 12 moved with his family to Australia after his father won a $125,000 work-related injury settlement against the New York Central Railroad.
It was a lot back then.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, when he was 12, that would have been sometime in the early 60s or mid-60s.
He's born in like 59 or something.
59, you're right.
Yeah.
So 71. So yeah, it would have been upwards of like $1 million. I mean, that's a big settlement.
Yeah.
Yeah. His grandparents were originally from Australia, but the family mostly moved so Gibson's older brother could dodge the Vietnam War draft.
Was his brother's name Donald Trump?
Yeah. How did you know?
Because he dodged the draft. Even though he could have ended the Vietnam War just by dodging the draft, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Just wanted to point that out.
Yeah. Gibson attended the National Institute of Dramatic Art in Sydney, and while a student appeared in his first feature film, Summer City, released in 1977. He was paid $400 for his part in the film.
I'm rich.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Yeah, well, $400 US dollars in Australia at the time was like $1 billion.
Yeah. You could I bought 6 houses and 4 cars.
Gibson's next feature was Mad Max, released in 1979. He was paid $9,000 for the part.
Nice.
It's a big jump from one movie to another.
Made him one of the richest people in Australia.
That same year, he was also in Tim, playing the eponymous character, co-starring Piper Laurie. Gibson would win Best Actor at the 21st Australian Film Institute Awards.
Yeah, I remember watching Tim because, Talent Crush. So I had to watch everything he did.
Everything. I've never heard of this movie. I have no idea.
It's not the best movie for a 12-year-old. It's pretty boring.
In 1980, Gibson made an uncredited cameo in The Chain Reaction, which saw George Miller as an associate producer, so a lot of the Mad Max cast were involved. Gibson appeared in 2 films in 1982. Attack Force Z, a World War II film, notable for also starring a relatively unknown Sam Neill.
I've seen that.
And Gallipoli, a World War I film that was directed by Peter Weir.
Really good.
It would be the highest-grossing movie in Australia in 1981 and would be nominated for 12 AFI awards at the Australian Film Institute Awards, including another win for Best Actor for Gibson.
Yeah, Gallipoli! We gotta save Gallipoli!
It's just amazing to me that I think about these things and like the BAFTAs and AFI and like all these places have their own awards, and I'm like, yeah, but it's not Oscars. it's like it means nothing, but in my mind, it's like, oh, great.
Well,
okay.
you've been brainwashed.
I have completely. It's really weird. I think of them as being lesser, which doesn't make any sense.
Well, my opinion is that all awards are bunk for art.
This is what's messed up. Is I agree with you.
Yeah.
They're all stupid. Yet I still think of these as being lesser.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, you're a complicated man,
I
Adam.
am. For the Mad Max 2 shoot, Gibson decided to make Max look as bedraggled as possible, cutting his own hair and eyebrows, cutting the sleeve off his leather jacket, and tearing up his gloves.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah, he did a good job. Gibson only has 16 lines of dialogue in the entire film, and 2 of them are...
I only came for the gasoline.
Gasoline. It's funny because in the movie he definitely seems like he has more than 16 lines.
Yeah.
But I don't think it is. I think that's accurate.
Yeah. Well,
it's just weird. They're placed perfectly.
Yeah. I mean, he's very expressive with his face and his eyes.
Yeah. The interesting thing is that, and I don't think I include this anywhere, but when George Miller went to the cast, he was essentially told them, you guys have to come up with backstory. So, like, whatever your backstory is, I'll go with it.
Okay.
And this is why, like, the kid and the guy that plays Papagallo, he had decided he was, like, a CEO of, like, a oil company.
Oh.
And that's why he was there with the oil fields. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Look, it's interesting.
Yeah. Look, I love directors that include their actors as... a good collaborator is... key to making a good movie.
Yeah.
There are auteurs and there are guys that are micromanaged, Stanley Kubrick, who makes you do 1,000 takes until he gets exactly what you want. But, guys like this or Clint Eastwood who expect the actors to do the work and come up with the with the backstory and be ready.
You come to me, I'll tell you if I like it or not.
Exactly.
And then we'll go from there.
And it also, as an actor, I always love that because then you're more intimate with the character because you know where you came from and where you're going.
Yeah, exactly. Because U.S. audiences didn't know Mel Gibson at the time of release, he was not featured in the trailer, rather showing action sequences to garner interest.
Told you.
And that's all I've got about Mel Gibson.
Okay, we have to make one quick correction. I forgot to bring it up at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, we should have.
But we were going to be doing Lethal Weapon 2 next.
In a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks, but these old men in their old brains forgot that we actually covered that movie.
Yes, so look up our Lethal Weapon 2 episode.
Yeah.
We actually covered it a while ago.
Yes.
I think it's in the early 40s, the episode number.
Yeah.
40s or 60s, I don't remember. But we definitely covered it, so listen to that for more on Mel Gibson.
We've covered both Lethal Weapon 1 and 2, so listen to those two. You'll get a lot more Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
For all of you marking your calendars, instead of Lethal Weapon 2, we're going to be doing Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan.
Yes, coming up next will be Star Trek 2, and then Aliens,
Yes.
and then...
T2.
Yeah, sorry, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, my old man brain, okay. So Bruce Spence was cast as the gyro captain. Spence, a 6'7" tall Kiwi, came from a family of winemakers living just outside of Auckland.
It's so funny watching he and Mel Gibson. It's like Mel Gibson's this little kid when they're walking.
Yes. Will you hold my hand, Dad?
No. I know you snakes.
Spence actually went to college to study horticulture. At 20, he moved to Australia, where he was accepted into the National Gallery of Victoria Art School. His mother was a painter and potter. While there, he joined a group of actors and decided that he liked acting more than painting.
I like acting more than painting.
Yeah. After a few plays, Spence made his feature film debut in 1971 with Stork, which was also Jackie Weaver's first film.
Oh.
It was the first Ocker film in Australia and was the first movie in the Australian New Wave movement. Do you know what Ocker films are?
No.
They're movies about Australian people. Like, it's what they called, like, about the... Not necessarily the indigenous people in Australia, but the just Australians.
Native-born Australians?
Yeah.
Akkas?
Akkas, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
They have weird names for
They
everything.
Do. They do.
Yeah, you Aka, get your gibbly gabs and let's go get some wallabies.
Again, I apologize to our Australian listeners.
Hey, you want some shibbly gibblies for your tummy?
If we're wrong about any of this, please email us at genxfilespodcast@gmail.com and tell us we're idiots.
Be as cruel as you want.
Please.
Wiki deaky.
Spence and Weaver would share an AFI acting award, and the film would win Best Picture and Best Director at AFI Awards.
Yes, the lesser awards, according to you.
Well, no, I'm thinking there are more now. I'm changing my mind.
I don't know.
Spence made an appearance in the horror film The Cars That Ate Paris in 1974, the directing debut of Peter Weir.
Have you ever seen that?
No. And I haven't seen it for one specific reason, because I was in my very first film class in college. It was a noir film class, and this kid sat in the front, and he raised his hand, and he pulled out a notebook, and he had a list of every single movie he'd ever seen since he was like 5 years old. The whole class, dude, stopped the class entirely.
Oh.
I've never watched it since then.
Wow.
During production of Mad Max 2, the dog was particularly fond of Spence, and to get him to growl at him for the intimidation scene, they had Spence start playing with the dog, giving him an end of his scarf to play tug of war. With some careful editing and added sound effects, it appeared that the dog was menacing Spence.
You can see like him kind of pulling the scarf away at one point.
Yeah. Yeah, it was cute. I mean, the dog, it seems very much like the dog was just friendly as hell.
Well, geez, look, you're a dog in a shelter, and then all of a sudden you're surrounded by a ton of people that are giving you super duper attention.
Yeah.
I mean, what a great life.
Yeah. George Miller said that the character of the gyro captain was written in part so that the studio would have to pay for a helicopter for the shoot.
Smart.
Again, businessman. Aerial shots were quite expensive, but they were necessary to show the point of view of the captain in his gyrocopter.
One of the best shots
Yeah.
in the movie is the one with Max after the dog is killed and after they
When he gets
destroy his
saved.
car.
Yeah. Yeah.
When he gets saved by the gyrocopter captain. And it's just a shot of his face, and you just see the ground going past him. It is such a cool shot.
It's such a brilliant shot. It says so much, and the fact that you see the whole set and like everything, like that was all real.
And Gibson does such a good job. Just like Harrison Ford, Gibson does such a good job of being effed up.
Yeah.
Like being in pain or being hurt. Like, you know that MFer has got some deep, dark pain that he can access because he does such a good job.
It's true. Spence has appeared in 137 productions over his years, including Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome in 1985, playing Jedediah the pilot, no relation to the gyro captain in Mad Max 2.
So weird.
Very weird. The Shrimp on the Barbie in 1990, starring Cheech Marin.
Oh, yeah. That brilliant film.
I'm going to bring it up as much as I can.
Yeah, you know the shrimp and the Barbie. We'll put a shrimp on the Barbie for you.
He was in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls in 1995. Dark City in 1998.
An underrated gem, in my opinion.
It is. Queen of the Damned in 2002.
Not an underrated gem, in my opinion.
He had a very busy 2003, including Inspector Gadget 2, playing Professor Baxter.
Dum-ba-dum-ba-dum, Inspector Gadget. Boop-a-doop-a-doop-ba-boo.
I think that was still with, what's his name, playing Inspector Gadget?
No.
Matthew
Broderick, yeah.
Oh, Matthew Broderick, I'm Inspector Gadget. Oh.
He also voiced Chum in Finding Nemo.
Nice.
He was in The Matrix Revolutions, playing the Train Man. And he was in The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King, playing the Mouth of Sauron, which unfortunately is only available in the extended edition.
I just watched those.
You did.
I saw him.
And the Mouth of Sauron is creepy as hell. Yeah, it's so good, but that's him. And he was also in Peter Pan, playing Cookson. He was also in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, playing Tion Medon.
Who, strangely enough, was an Ewok. The fact that he could play an Ewok at his height just shows how incredible of an actor he is.
He was also in The Chronicles of Narnia, The Voyage of the Dawn Treader in 2010.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I hate those movies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. In Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales in 2017.
Nice.
He can most recently be seen in Lords of the Soil, released in 2025, a historical drama set in 1860s Australia.
Aye, bunch of convicts back then.
He's like in his 70s, 80s, and he's still working hard.
Well, good for him. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's good.
He was really one of my favorite parts. I'm going to just keep saying that. One of my favorite parts. But again, quiet little scene, so cool. The sun is setting, and Max is eating his dog food, which makes me want to puke. His Dinky
Dinky
D. I get my Dinky D dog feed, and he's eating it, and then the gyroscope guy, he's looking, and he pulls out his little wooden spoon,
Yeah.
and then he tosses the can to the dog, and then you go, that whole bit, it's just the hierarchy,
Yeah,
and the fact that then later on you see him digging into the can and eating whatever was left after the dog got through with it. Just shows
so
you
gross.
how resources are so scarce
Yeah.
that you'll eat anything. And the look on Max's face when he's eating that dog food is rapturous.
Yeah, it's the best thing he's had.
Ugh.
It's very similar to when he finds the quote unquote workable shotgun shell.
Yeah.
And he opens it up, and then Bruce Spence is like, "It was empty." And it's like, yeah, resources are scarce.
Yes.
Yeah. God, it's so brilliant. It just makes me want to play the Mad Max game again because it's exactly the same. It's like, I've got one shotgun shell, got to make sure I use it.
It is one of the best representations of a movie universe ever.
Yeah. Mike Preston was cast as Papagallo, the idealistic leader of a group of settlers barricaded in an oil refinery. Preston was born in London, started as a boxer, but then became a singer. So we were actually pretty close because he looks like
a
70s rock star.
He looks like if Mick Jagger and David Bowie had a love child.
Yeah. He just has a great look. It's really interesting.
Yes.
He had 3 top 40 hits in the UK before 1960.
That's insane.
I know, isn't that weird? He then emigrated to Australia working as a nightclub singer. By the late 60s, Preston was hosting TV shows and acting in films and TV. Starting in TV, he was known in Australia for his role in Homicide, appearing in 42 episodes between 1972 and 1973. His longest run on TV was in Bellbird, an Australian soap opera, appearing in 396 episodes between 1974 and 1976.
Good Lord, almost 400 episodes in 2 years.
Yeah. It's a
It's
soap
a
opera.
boot camp, man.
Yeah. He also appeared on American TV, guest starring on
The New Mike Hammer, Fairy Tale Theater, The A-Team, Scarecrow and Mrs. King, Airwolf, Remington Steele, Hunter, Fame, The Facts of Life, Max Headroom, Superboy, Alien Nation, Renegade, Highlander, Baywatch Nights, and Law and Order. Oh, he looks like a 70s European actor.
Yeah.
Like the look that he has. Like I'm looking at his headshot right now, and it's like he could have been in anything.
If he had walked into my audition room, I would have cast him just based on his looks. It's like you just look the part.
He's got a gravitas to him.
Yeah.
He's just got one of those faces that looks like it's been through a lot.
And in this movie, he plays it so well. Like you don't realize who the leader is,
Yeah.
and then suddenly they all turn, and it's like he's just calm. And he's like, okay, this is what we're doing.
And he knows the plan, and he wants to drive the tanker.
Yeah.
So he knows.
He knows that he's not going to make it.
And so he wants to do what every great leader does and sacrifices himself for the good of the group.
Yeah.
But Max won't let him.
No. Mad Max 2 was Preston's best-known role in film, but 2 years later, he did appear in the cult sci-fi film Metal Storm, The Destruction of Jared Sin, starring Jeffrey Byron, Kelly Preston, and Richard Mole.
Oh, I've definitely seen that.
I have not, but it's come up a number of times, and God, I need to see it. Preston's last role was voicing Harry the Hat in the video game The Getaway in 2002.
Oh, what an underrated game. That game was super fun.
so much fun.
It was like playing a... what's that director? Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Guy Ritchie.
It was like playing a Guy Ritchie movie.
It was such an underrated game. It was so good.
Now, I really want to see him on The Facts of Life.
I know. Part of me is like, I'm going to find all of this stuff and just be like, okay.
So who were you?
Yeah.
On... yeah, I mean, I remember probably... Because I watched all these shows.
Yeah.
So, except for maybe Baywatch Nights. But I probably saw him on all
you
of these.
did.
Yeah.
Secretly in the room in the dark.
It's true. It's all I watched.
After The Getaway, the video game The Getaway, he retired, but he's still kicking around at the age of 91.
Oi!
But good for him. He is one of those people that a total talent crush because he's good. I just wish there was more.
Oh, yeah. Well, just get your TV.
I guess just find everything he's in.
Start looking on
I've
for old
never
sitcoms.
done that. I'm curious to go find, just go through somebody's oeuvre and just find all the episodes they're in and watch them. I've never done that.
Let's try it this time. Maybe we'll do it.
Max Phipps was cast as the Toady, the crier of Humongous's gang.
The guy that loses his fingers.
I got it. And then everyone laughs at him.
And then he laughs. He's like,
Yes, I lost my fingers.
Phipps was born in an Australian town called Dubbo.
oh, from Debo. God, Australia is the weirdest place. It's the closest thing to like the Shire that we have. You know,
Yeah.
it seems like a made up world with all of the
It really does.
with all of the crazy creatures and that can kill you in a second and all the people with their crazy words.
You know what Dinky D means? It's like a slang term for them to mean everything.
Oh,
Dinky D.
Danky Day.
Yeah. It's just Everything is weird.
I kind of love it.
It's like everything is just off by a half step.
Well, that's what you get when you're all a bunch of criminals.
Again, I apologize to our Australian listeners. Max Phipps started acting on stage and actually performed in the inaugural season of the Sydney Opera House in 1973. He also played Dr. Frankenfurter and the Rocky Horror Show in Melbourne from 75 to 77.
Well, good for him.
He also appeared in The Cars That Ate Paris in 1974.
Oh, everybody's in that movie, apparently.
Yeah, every Australian actor ever was in that movie. Phipps also appeared on a bunch of TV, with one of his last roles being a guest appearance on Farscape.
Okay.
Sadly, he died from cancer in Sydney in August 2000 at the age of 60.
Too young. Don't you have like all of Farscape and you've never opened it
Correct.
or watched it?
I have the entire series. I don't have the movies no, I take that back. I think I have one of the movies that came out after, but I think there's a second movie I don't have.
No.
I've literally never watched it.
Yeah?
It's all on Peacock, and it looks really good. It's one of those I've been meaning to start watching.
Yeah.
It's been like 20 years.
Nice.
I haven't done it. Vernon Wells was cast as Wes, Humongous's lieutenant.
Oh, yeah.
Vernon Wells. He's such a fascinating guy. I love him for this.
Yeah.
And for Weird Science. I love him so much.
You took a shower with a beautiful girl with your jeans on.
I love that movie so much. Wells worked in a quarry, then as a salesman, and then in theater and rock bands.
So sounds absolutely perfect for him.
Yeah. Casting agents found him in the 70s, and he started working on Australian police dramas, including Homicide and Matlock Police.
Probably playing bad guys.
I'm sure. His first feature film was the 1979 Australian sexploitation film Felicity, produced by BMX Bandits producer Tom Broadbridge.
Nice.
During filming of Mad Max 2, Gibson routinely called Wells barometer bum because when his exposed ass cheeks turned purple, everyone knew it was time to take a break from filming and go warm up in the bus.
All right. Vernon's ass is purple. Let's go get in the bus.
We'll talk about this more later, but despite it looking like it was super hot, they shot it during the Australian winter, and it was routinely like 40 degrees.
Poor Humongous, man.
Yeah.
No wonder he was all ripped. His little body was shivering.
The bus that they used as the gate, they literally get on it, just turn the heater on, and just hang out for a couple hours.
Let's get on the bus.
After Mad Max 2, Wells would appear in some Hollywood movies. Weird Science in 1985, spoofing his character from Mad Max 2.
So great.
So perfect. It's so utterly perfect. Commando in 1985 with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, he's like, I think I'm pretty sure I killed him.
I
He was
don't.
a bad guy.
Commando was one of those movies that was on all the time when I was growing up.
My daughter was Alyssa Milano in the Commando. I'll say
Was
so.
it?
Yes.
What am I thinking? I thought Ray Dawn Chong was in that movie.
She is. So is Alyssa Milano, is my daughter.
Yeah, okay. This is a funny thing. I've seen that movie probably 100 times. Don't remember any of it.
I kill a guy on a plane and I say, don't wake him up.
That's the chopper line. Isn't that from that movie?
Get to the chopper.
Isn't that from Commando?
Pretty sure, yeah. Get to the chopper.
I remember it more as a meme than I do the movie.
I love that movie as a kid. It's so stupid.
It was ridiculous. I remember it being very ridiculous.
The one thing I remember is there was some, slimy, like rat type character.
Yeah.
Maybe played by John Leguizamo. I don't know.
Okay.
But it was played by one of those guys. I just remember Arnold holding him by the ankle over a.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to drop you. And it just looks so. It's like, I get it, you're strong, but you're not that strong, Arnie.
Vernon Wells was also in Inner Space in 1987.
Oh, such a good movie.
Fantastic movie. I don't remember him in that, so definitely excited to see that again.
He's probably one of the bad guys.
I'm sure he's one of the guys that tries to kill him. Space Truckers in 1996.
It sounds super cool. I'm pretty sure I saw it.
I'm sure I've seen it too. I don't remember anything about it.
We have to do like a weird B movie. Start doing a B movie month every year.
Oh yeah,
where
we will
cover these crimes.
I've already got the first month all set up.
Nice.
Yeah. Power Rangers Time Force and Power Rangers Wild Force in 2001 and 2002 as the main villain.
Never watched the Power Rangers.
I think I've told this story before, but I remember the very first time Power Rangers came on was Saturday morning. The theme song came on. I was sitting there with my brother. I was probably like 10. Mm-hmm. And my brother looked at me and goes, "This is the stupidest effing thing I've ever seen." And he turned it off halfway through the opening. And I was like, all right.
Your brother
that's
wasn't wrong.
The most I've ever seen of the Power Rangers.
Well, it's the most you've ever need to see of the Power Rangers.
It was hilarious. I was just like, all right, whatever.
The Power Rangers is brilliant because the dude just bought a show.
Yeah.
used the expensive parts that they had already shot, and then just shot cheap parts with people.
Put them in a room, and there was like, okay, now get into the giant Zord or whatever.
Oh, all that stuff was shot. Just take your helmet off.
But I mean, like, they were just, hanging out in their little costumes around a table, and then it was like, okay, I mean, don't get me wrong, I agree.
There's a lot of sad stories out of that show, some of the cast members. Didn't think some of them kill themselves and stuff?
One of them did.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was not good. Yeah.
It's because of Vernon Wells. Teased him. You're a bully.
In the 2010s, Wells started appearing mainly in American B movies, packing in as many movies as he could shoot every year. He appeared in 13 projects in 2016, 11 projects in 2020, 11 projects in 2021, 19 projects in 2022, 12 projects in 2023, 13 projects in 2024, and he has 24 projects that he's attached to that will come out in the next couple of years.
Great.
He's currently 80.
Well, good for him. He looks great. I'm curious to see him now, but look, any person who can sustain a 40, 50-year career. It is
completely.
That in this business, coming from Australia too.
Yeah.
It's incredible, man.
Look, man, if he's at that point in his career where he says no to nothing, and he's 80, he's won.
He's shoring up a nice trust fund for his grandkids.
He is like, whatever, I'm saving all this money up. It's great.
Oh, do it. That's his catchphrase. Oh, do it. Sign me up.
Kjell Nielsen was cast as Lord Humongous.
Just walk away. Just walk away. Do not be stupid. Just walk away.
Mad Max 2 was Nielsen's first acting role. He was an Olympic-class weightlifter who went to Australia in 1980 to train Swedish athletes for the Moscow Olympics.
There's a lot going on there in that sentence.
Yeah, there is. While there, he met an actress, and he took her back to Sweden to get married.
You're going to take you back to Sweden, get you married,
She then convinced him to go back to Australia and look for work in the Australian film industry.
Oh. You need to go back and get into the film industry. Okie dokie, gonna do it.
How all the again, I apologize to our Swedish listeners.
Yes, it's the Swedish chef. That's where I learned.
The throbbing vein prosthetic was attached to the back of Nielsen's head, but it broke partway into filming.
Yeah, it was an optical illusion. Looked kind of like it was moving, but I couldn't tell if it was really moving.
No, it really was. It was.
It just was very subtle.
It was like a weird throbbing. The funny thing is that it broke because Nielsen's actual throbbing head broke it.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. That's not true. Humongous was originally supposed to be Max's partner Jim Goose from the original Mad Max.
That's cool.
The production decided against this, but left a few hints, such as horrible burns behind Humongous's goalie mask, his raider's use of police vehicles, and his own use of a similar weapon to the MFP's standard firearm.
Yeah, he had that, 44 Magnum with the scope.
Yeah. In 1982, Nielsen was in The Pirate movie, starring Christopher Atkins and Christy McNichol, directed by Ken Anakin, who also directed Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, or How I Flew to London in Paris, from London to Paris in 25 hours and 11 minutes.
Please listen to our Those Magnificent Men and Their Flying Machines, or How I Flew to London to Paris in 26 hours and 11 minutes show.
And the 25 hours and 11 minutes one as well.
Yes.
Yes, listen to that. It's a great episode, and that movie's phenomenal.
It's really great.
It's really great. In 1989, he appeared in The Edge of Power. He did not appear in another film until 2023, when he acted in Howlin' Thunder, a modern take on The Odyssey.
Well, it just took him that long to find a project he liked.
Yeah. He's now 76. I think he went back to training weightlifters for Olympics.
And I heard to Sweden, going to make you go to the Olympics.
The funny thing is, I actually don't know if that's his real voice or not. The one in the movie, I don't know if it's his real voice.
Walk away.
Yeah. I mean, my guess is probably not.
No. His real voice is walk away. Give me all the keys.
Oh my gosh.
The first time.
Emil Minty was cast as the feral kid. Mad Max 2 was Minty's first film, filmed when he was 8 years old.
He's so good.
When auditioning, George Miller asked Minty to come up with a backstory for the feral kid. Minty summed up that the feral kid flew in a plane with his parents, and it ran out of fuel, forcing the plane to land. The feral kid's father went off to find fuel, but didn't return, and Mom went off to find him, but she also never came back, and the feral kid was left alone to fend for himself.
Here we have a tape of him telling that story.
Okay. So I fly on a plane, and the plane went down, and then my dad, he went to go get something to help us with the plane, and then me mom, she went out to go find him. We could find him with the plane, because we crashed the plane, and they couldn't find the plane, and then I was left alone, and I was Pharrell.
Miller was impressed, and it helped Minty beat out over 100 other kids that auditioned.
Nice.
The backstory was later incorporated into Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Where it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, well.
Oh, the flyy, wooshy woos!
During filming, Gibson taught Minty how to throw a boomerang and to headbutt people without hurting them.
Look, here's how you headbutt people without hurting them. Because you got a little head, it won't hurt him anyway.
Minty still has the boomerang he used in the movie, keeping it in his office.
Nice. Just in case.
Yeah, you never know. Minty did all of his own stunts except for the backflip, which was done by a local gymnast named Melissa.
Melissa must have been tiny.
I'm sure it was a young girl. After the film's release, Minty was teased and bullied for being in the movie.
What?
Yeah, he appeared mostly in TV through high school and opted to retire from acting after turning 18.
Look, I get it. Kids are dicks. And his character is kind of goofy, but...
Yeah.
But the thing is, if you're an adult watching that performance, you're like, good God, that kid is amazing.
He's so good.
And they didn't do him any favors with, like, the Farrah Fawcett 80s hair.
No.
They could have given
very
him...
wild.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looked very teased. Like maybe the girl with the ponytail on top of her head was, like, teasing out his hair.
Yeah.
Look, I'll make you look beautiful.
He actually became a jeweler and has worked at Chris Lewis Jewelers in Sydney's Gladesville since the early 90s.
Nice.
Yeah. Virginia Hay was cast as Warrior Woman, a settler who initially distrusts Max.
I don't trust you, Max.
Yeah, she's also very much in white. So much white.
Well, they're all in white.
And blonde.
Because they're the good guys.
Blonde, yeah. Hay was discovered...
Just because Aryans are the
Yeah.
good guys, Adam.
It is Australia. Hay was discovered at a bus stop by a fashion magazine editor and started modeling.
Yeah, she's pretty.
Back in the day when it was just like, hey, you're cute. Come model for me.
Yeah, and it wasn't problematic.
No, not at all.
Hey, how old are you, 16? Get in a bikini, I'm going to take some pics.
In 1979, Hay started appearing in live TV performances of the Buggles' Video Killed the Radio Star, including on Top of the Pops and in England. It's like whenever they would, she was essentially a dancer, whenever they would come perform in live TV, she would be there.
Nice.
I think she was actually in the music video as well.
Video killed the radio star.
Yeah. Mad Max 2 was her first feature film acting role. The part was originally written for a man, but Miller cast Hay and didn't change any of the dialogue.
Yeah, well, there you go. Feminism.
Hay would appear as the villain's girlfriend in The Living Daylights, the Timothy Dalton James Bond movie in 1987.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I love Timothy Dalton, but his James Bonds were pretty weak.
Yeah. The late 80s or 90s Bond movies were weird.
They didn't know what to do. They made it too serious.
Yeah. They lost their fun. You're right. Yeah. In 1999, Hay was cast in Farscape, appearing in 50 episodes.
Nice. When you eventually watch that show, you'll enjoy her.
Maybe she's in it, maybe she's not. I don't know. I've never seen it.
It's a Schrodinger show.
Hay can most recently be seen on Grace March, a TV movie released in 2024. She is now 73.
Okay.
Still acting, still doing her thing.
Good.
There's a bunch of other people in the movie, but most of them are Australian people that our largely U.S. audience will not know.
Yes. Like Christopher Greaves, who was
He says 24 hours.
he was the guy where he's like, oh, it's going to take us about 48 hours to get done.
Going to take us 48 hours to get done?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that here in a second. The film was shot over 12 weeks during the winter of 1981 near Broken Hill in New South Wales. One of the reasons the production wanted to use the location was the prediction by rainfall charts that there would be virtually no rainfall during the shoot.
Nice drought.
But then, for the first time in over 4 years, it started raining, and production was shut down for over a week.
Ugh.
Which is funny, because that literally happened again on Fury Road.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be shooting in Australia, and it was the worst floods ever, which is why they went to Namibia and shot there.
Yeah, George Miller didn't have a lot of luck with the weather.
He does not. Although it might not look like it, the location was actually extremely cold. Gibson would spend his time in between takes huddled under blankets, while the extras would try and stay warm by huddling together.
Ooh, sexy.
Yeah. The costume department assembled the costumes by raiding junk shops, secondhand clothing stores, sporting outlets, and S&M shops.
Nice.
Yeah, well, you know. There were over 80 custom vehicles made for this movie. More than half of them were demolished.
Yeah, those are great. That's the one thing that He's a little baffling about the apocalypse. It's like, how do they get all those parts and make those crazy cars?
Not to mention, and we mentioned this while we were watching, they spend a lot of time in gas trying to get more gas.
Yes! Especially when they're just like me with their motorcycles doing
Everybody,
donuts and stuff. It's like, come on, man. We don't have a lot of gas.
When Mad Max is up on that rock and he's watching, I was like, they're just driving in circles. Like, what are they doing?
You know, if you didn't drive around so much, you wouldn't need the gas.
Be more efficient.
Well, that makes sense. Why are we wasting so much gas?
The production thought that Max's interceptor from Mad Max had been destroyed, but they discovered that it had been purchased by a fan who restored it.
Nice.
They would buy it from the fan to use in Mad Max 2,
I would have rented it to them.
and then they destroyed it.
Oh, no!
The dog used in the film, named simply Dog, was obtained from a local dog pound just one day shy of being euthanized.
No.
Yeah.
No wonder that dog was so happy.
Yeah. He was picked out from several other dogs due to him picking up a rock off the ground and playing with it like a toy.
I love this dog so much.
The crew members realized the dog could have a real presence on film and had the potential to be trained. This movie ended up being the only film in which he would appear.
Yeah, he did. He nailed it. He was a good
He was
boy.
great. Because the sound of the engines upset him and in one incident caused him to relieve himself in the car, he was fitted with special earplugs.
Oh, that's so cute.
It is. After filming was complete, he was adopted by one of the camera operators.
I'll give him a good home.
The film was released on December 24th, 1981 in Australia. It would make 10.8 million Australian dollars, making it the highest grossing movie of the year in Australia.
Nice.
Due to Mad Max not getting a wide release in the U.S., Warner Brothers made the decision to retitle the film to The Road Warrior, as Mad Max 2 would be confusing.
Road Warrior is a great title, though.
It is, though. I mean, they literally say it in the first 30 seconds of the movie.
Yeah.
They call him the Road Warrior.
He's a road warrior.
Yeah, they didn't say, oh, he's Mad Max 2 coming.
Look, it's Mad Max 2. T-O-O, because he's with the dog.
Although I will say, this is like yourself, this was the first time I saw it with the original title in the opening. I've never seen it with Mad Max 2.
I know.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
It was. American International Pictures had the U.S. rights to Mad Max, but it was being bought by Filmways in 1980, which caused less prints to be distributed and a stunted box office for the film.
What?
Yeah, so the whole thing was that it was supposed to be this big wide release, and then AIP just dropped the ball.
Stupid.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they had, because it looks like a no-brainer now, because we've had a thousand
this is
movies
for
like this.
Mad Max,
Oh.
for the original movie.
Well,
Which is
again,
why nobody knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did seem very foreign, kind of. I mean, it seemed very Australian.
The 1979 Mad Max seemed like a European arty movie.
Yes.
And it kind of is.
Yeah. It's a definite independent film with a lot of themes and
But it's very dystopian,
Yes.
and at the end, it becomes an action movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely has
a
more
revenge
action.
thriller.
Yeah, yeah. But I get it. I mean, I totally get it. Warner Brothers didn't make it seem like it was a sequel in any of the advertising. It would gross $23.6 million in the U.S. The film received very positive reviews. Roger Ebert gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4, praised its
Skillful filmmaking.
and called it,
A film of pure action of kinetic energy.
which is
One of the most relentlessly aggressive movies ever made.
yeah. I mean,
He's right.
Yeah, he's totally right.
It is an amazing action movie. And more so the fact that there is no digital effects, that everything is practical.
Yeah.
Everything that you see blown up, crashed, smashed, or whatever, flips and floops,
My God.
everybody did it.
The ending of that, when you know that those car stunt guys were like, we could destroy the big car? Let's do it. Let's do it. That thing is just demolished.
Well, the stunt of the motorcycler hitting the car and then doing
flying,
over,
yeah.
head over tails, flips.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing. The stunt, so many stunt guys must have got hurt.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But he's got to this day, Miller's got a great stunt crew, and he really nobody does vehicular combat, chase scenes, vehicle action like George Miller. Nobody.
No, agreed. Vincent Canby wrote,
Never has a film vision of the post-nuclear Holocaust world seemed quite as desolate and as brutal, or as action-packed and sometimes as funny, as George Miller's apocalyptic The Road Warrior, an extravagant film fantasy that looks like a sadomasochistic comic book come to life.
yeah. I mean, it was very well received.
Well, yeah, because nobody had seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It seems so quaint now,
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
Fallout and everything that came after it subsequently. But this movie defined all that, man.
Yeah.
And that whole like sadomasochistic undertones of Humongous's gang.
Yeah,
You know, with
yeah.
the assless chaps and the chokers and
Well, and the fact that they when he loses the fingers, they just all start giggling.
well, yeah, and the pet again, you know, the Mohawk guy, I forget his
Vernon Wells.
Vernon Wells' pet. You know, he's got him on a leash. The beautiful blonde boy who the feral kid just aces
right in the forehead,
boomerang to the face. You know, it created this whole world without having to do anything.
Yeah.
We knew what it was like because of the costumes and the actions and the sets and the car. Everything about it created the world. We didn't need a lot of explanation to why things were. And it set off, like, all Wasteland costuming is based on this movie.
Oh, yeah, yeah. The amazing thing is that this is the first one to do it, and watching this movie, it just feels so natural.
Yes.
It's like, I don't question it. I don't think, like, this is goofy.
Yeah.
Like, it just works.
It all works. It is so... This is one of those movies. It's a perfect movie. Everything from costume design to locations to casting, stunts, the script, everything comes together to make a classic. And this is a classic movie. This is one of the Gen X gems, man.
To go back to the actors working, the whole thing with the blonde on the leash.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like to think that was like a lover or something, but Vernon Wells came up with the backstory that he had found him when he was young, and he looked at him as a son.
Oh.
Which is why he was so upset when he died.
Ah.
Yeah. Which totally informed the rest of the if he was like, I'm going to murder him. I'm going to murder all of them because he killed my boy.
Wait, I just made up that story so nobody thinks I'm a poofta.
I mean, it's possible, but I mean, like, it's just, but when you look at it, because then it kind of mirrors, the revenge that Max went through in the first movie.
Yes.
It's like, this was, and it was just the kid, it looks like a throwaway thing, but it's like, he's so determined to kill everybody because it killed his kid.
Right. But it also seems, well, he does lose it to the point where Humongous has to choke him out.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Just be quiet. Shh, we'll get him. Just go to sleep.
Gotta be more reasonable.
Go to sleep. Walk away.
So originally, this was the conclusion of the Mad Max story, with Max's fate having never been revealed, and George Miller, Terry Hayes, and Byron Kennedy had no intentions of making a third installment.
Didn't need to. It ended perfectly.
No. However, George Miller had planned to make a post-apocalyptic Lord of the Flies film about a tribe of children living in the wild who are found by an adult.
Interesting.
When someone suggested to Miller that Mad Max is the adult who finds the children, it became Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, released in 1985.
I think that's the problem. I think it started out as a different film, and Mad Max was shoehorned in rather than Miller having a vision for the third film.
You know that an exec was like, "Oh, hey, we'll just make it Max."
What if it's Max? What if it's Mad Max?
And then it'll be ka-ching, ka-ching, money, money.
I don't know about that.
With a $10 million budget, it would only make $36 million worldwide, considered a disappointment for the franchise.
It was not good. It was this. It's exactly what most sequels or threequels of that time suffered from.
Yeah.
Is bloat, unnecessary bullshit, and dumbing it down and softening it for kids. They wanted to make a universal blockbuster for everybody.
Yeah.
So they made a movie for nobody.
Yeah, yeah. In 2015, 30 years later, George Miller would release Mad Max Fury Road with Tom Hardy playing Max.
Great.
And yes, it is confirmed through a 4-issue comic book tying Beyond Thunderdome and Fury Road together, co-written by George Miller. So it is the same Max. It is not a different Max.
Not to me. It's a different Max to me. It's his son.
It's a continuation of the story.
It's the feral kid.
Fury Road would cost between $154.6 million and $185.1 million to make, depending on which numbers you look at.
That's so crazy to look at the budget of the original Road Warrior versus this.
Yeah.
And the original Road Warrior is just as effective. Like, this is very stylized.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
It's a very orange and yellow, and the colors and everything about it is super stylized. But I think and as much as I like the movie, it's much more of a movie than Mad Max to me. Like it seems much more of kind of a churchy Hollywoodization of Mad Max rather than the raw, dirty kind of indie.
Well, he just used more of what he had.
Yes.
You know, I mean,
yeah. No, I love the movie. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just as somebody who loves Mad Max so much, and it connected to me in a way that resonated throughout the rest of my life.
Sure.
You know, in terms of stuff. So it's really difficult to see, you know, it'd be like watching somebody remake Raiders of the Lost Ark or something. Mm-hmm. But because it's the original director and he is so good at this kind of stuff, again, it's an amazing action ride. And this one literally does not stop.
Yeah. It's everything that you said about Road Warrior. It's that for a bunch of other people that are much younger than us.
Yeah, it's for, and it's very stylized and it's very polished.
Yeah.
And it's very Hollywood, but it doesn't lose those rough edges and that kookiness and weirdness and the zaniness of the first one, especially with, you know, the kids like spray painting the chrome.
Yeah.
Even Nicholas Holt's character is really interesting. So it does. What I do love about the quote quotes remake or reimagining, whatever, is it's completely different. It doesn't just it takes the core of escaping in a tractor trailer, but redesigns everything around it, behind it, and forward from it.
The reason that works is because it's not a remake; it is a sequel.
Right, but it just seems,
it is a sequel.
I guess I don't see it as a sequel. Even though he says
canonically, it is a sequel.
I'm sorry, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
But it's fine. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not.
It is
true.
No, not to me.
It would make $380.4 million worldwide box office. It would win 6 Oscars from 10 nominations that year, more than any other film that year.
Well, it was truly an amazing accomplishment. I mean, the guy is, in his 80s now? 70s, 80s?
He's got to be at least in his 80s.
And he's still doing amazing work.
Yeah. A prequel for Fury Road came out 9 years later in 2024. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga starring Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa, played by Charlize Theron in Fury Road. It would cost $168 million to make. It would only take in $174.4 million, which they considered to be a box office failure.
Yeah.
Despite Tom Hardy stating that he'd signed on for 3 more Mad Max movies with the disappointing box office of Furiosa, Hardy didn't think it'd be happening. Miller said as late as February 2025...
But if for whatever reason the planets align, you can never tell. Too often you're lining up to do a movie and then something happens. Some things fall into place and some don't. So all I can say is, we'll see.
I'm going to go ahead and say that he's probably going to have one more Mad Max movie before he dies.
I think so. Because he's going to want to make something else finally, and then somebody's going to...
I think I'm going to make a movie about a musician who goes into Julia. Well, what if that musician's Mad Max?
Because I guarantee you this. If he doesn't make a Mad Max movie before he dies, someone's definitely going to make one after.
And it won't be as good.
No.
It will not be as good because he is the perfect director for these movies because he knows, just like Hal Needham was great for like the Smokey and the Bandit or Hooper, he knows this world better than anybody else because he created it.
Yeah.
He is the grandfather of post-apocalyptic entertainment.
You think about all of the post-apocalyptic movies and games and stories that are born from this. I mean, there's hundreds of them.
I know we talk about it all the time, but it would be remiss of us not to mention once again how amazing the Mad Max video game is.
Yes.
In terms of fully capturing the feel and essence of the
franchise.
Of the franchise. Thank you.
Yeah.
Because it really, you feel like Mad Max. I mean, talk about role playing.
Yeah.
And for something that is just so empty, there is something so peaceful and engrossing about just driving your car around those wastelands and all of a sudden, car combat or...
Man, it's funny because we were watching the movie and I was like, I love the Mad Max game so much.
Yes.
And it's kind of an amalgamation of Road Warrior and Fury Road because there's elements from both.
And it's the best of both worlds.
Yes.
That's what it is. It takes the best of both worlds and creates something that just seems like a little bit more than the Mad Max of Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
It's just enough Fury Road to give it a little extra oomph and flavor.
Right.
But it's like there's some really great story moments.
Yeah.
It really hits. It's such a uniquely deep and engrossing game for something that at first glance seems so empty.
Yeah. It's so good. I will beat that drum till the day I die.
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the best games of all time.
It's a game that I do either every year or other year do a playthrough of.
I had just done one not too long ago, and watching the Road Warrior again, I think I might just play through the story because I tried to be more completist about it last time, and it got a little much.
Yes.
Because I gotta go to another minefield.
Yes.
But I think I might just go through and do, because obviously doing the extra stuff helps make the world more livable.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
But part of me is kind of like, you know what? I'm just going to do the story.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Yeah. Look, you've played it enough.
Yeah.
the right way.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
you've earned the right to play it whatever way you want to play it at this point.
If I happen upon like one of the caravans or whatever and take it out, great. But otherwise, I'm just going to go story. And
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun. I'm just curious to see how fast I can do it.
Yeah, do a speed run.
Do speed run, yeah.
It is. But my God, if you have not seen this movie, get it.
Yeah, you should. It should be in your collection.
This
It's
is one
so good.
I need to get the Blu-ray of this movie. This is something that I need to do. I need to put it on my list because I'm pretty sure I have it on DVD. But this is one that I do want to upgrade because it is so beloved to me, and it was so impactful as a young kid watching this movie. I played Mad Max, I wanted to be the Road Warrior.
Right.
I wanted
Pull out your leather chaps.
and I was a gun fanatic back then.
yeah.
I loved guns, movie guns especially.
Yeah.
And man, his little sawed-off shotty, I loved that so much.
Yeah.
I was a very weird child, and I loved creating worlds and living in worlds, whether it was my Star Wars guys or just reading whatever it was where I could lose myself in something.
Yeah.
This gave me a whole new world and a whole new genre to lose myself in. And to this day, we all, like I said, we all romanticize the apocalypse because it just simplifies life to survival.
Yeah.
And we don't have to deal with the bullshit, but we're gonna have to deal with how it smells and eating dog food and stuff. It's not gonna be as fun and romantic as you think it is.
I've said this many times. If there's ever an atomic war, I want to be as close to one of the bomb falls as possible because I don't want to deal with it afterwards.
Where do you poop? Where are people pooping?
nowhere.
Because there's no,
I want to embrace the flash
Yeah.
and feel the warmth
Yes.
as I become a shadow.
not just wander around while your skin sloughs off and your teeth fall out.
No, I watched Chernobyl. Radiation poisoning is awful.
Yes, and we all and listen to our day after show.
Oh
if
my
you
God.
want about
Awful.
post-apocalypse.
All right, we'll be back next week. Thanks for joining us today. We're gonna cover. I'm so excited. This is the first time ever I actually started watching Star Trek: The Original Series.
Oh, nice!
I'm about 10 episodes into it, but we're gonna cover Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Khan!
Yeah, which is
Khan.
it's interesting, and we'll talk about it more next week. But I think this is the only piece of media that I can think of that is a sequel to a TV episode.
Yeah, pretty
Like
much.
a movie that's a sequel
Yeah.
to a TV episode. I don't know of anything else.
Wild Wild West.
No, that was a remake. But anyway, it'll be fun to talk about. I'm very excited about it. I love Star Trek. I love and hate Star Trek. I have a very love-hate relationship with it. So I'm excited. Been excited to watch it. So.
I love Star Trek. I'm a huge fan of the original series and of Next Generation. I love most of the Star Trek shows.
Next Generation is the one that I watch more of. Yeah.
So I'm really excited. Again, this is another movie where I went to see the first Star Trek movie in the theater. That movie was so hyped up.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about the woman who shaved her head for it. That was like the big thing on the news. And seeing that movie, and it was the most boring, god-awful piece of shit that I had ever seen. It was such a disservice to the franchise. It took every bit of fun out of what Star Trek was and just made this bland, boring, awful frickin' movie. So when I had no expectations for Khan,
Yeah.
I go in there, and again, much like Road Warrior, blown the F away. I think
Yeah.
the next day I watched it again.
Wow.
Because I watched Road Warrior 2 or 3 times in the theater.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when I theater bounce, I'd sometimes
Yeah.
revisit
Yeah,
my favorites. But I saw that a couple times in Star Trek 2, man. It is, whew.
Yeah. All right. Well, join us next week for that.
I'm here for the gasoline.
His grandparents were originally from Australia, but the family mostly moved, so Gibson's older brother... Sorry, I'm going to do that again.
He looks like if Mick Jagger... Please listen to our fantastic... please listen to Flying Machine... Wait.
Yeah, no, go back.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming. Moonlighting. Already in progress.